Get in the game with NFL Sunday Ticket from Rev TV. You'll get every game every Sunday afternoon in crystal clear HD. That's over 220 football games for the entire regular season. Plus, NFL Sunday Ticket gives you up to 8 live games on one screen with Game Mix. You'll get that died and woke up in football heaven experience when you include NFL Red Zone, a channel dedicated to every scoring play from every game and all your fantasy football teams. Get in the game with NFL Sunday Ticket. Call 601-8992 today.
The Prime Minister says he is concerned about the growing rate of crime. This as the Anglican bishop weighs in. 3 killed in a Grand Bahama traffic fatality, plus Baha Man rocks the Today Show. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Kyle Joaquin, and NB12 starts now. With the nation's murder count now at 130 for the year, the highest it's ever been, Prime Minister Perry Christie said today he recognizes people are fearful and pledged to dedicate more time and scrutiny to the fight against crime. Dubbing crime a matter that will receive major commitment, Christie said he has plans to meet with the leaders of the nation's armed forces to discuss particular strategies his government is working on. Dana Smith reports.
The Prime Minister said he is really distressed and very concerned about the nation's rising murder count. He said he is personally committed to giving the matter his full attention, and he recognizes government must be very aggressive moving forward. He added government is discussing significant strategies to address the problem.
Every time someone is killed, it diminishes us, and I accept that. And I'm very, 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 very concerned about this matter to the point where it now will cause me to even dedicate more time and a greater degree of scrutiny to the effort.
Christie said with this week's killing of a local elementary school teacher, it's clear anyone could become a victim. He said he knew her family personally, having been friends with her father as a child, and he understands that people are fearful.
It is, for me, clearly understood that people would be even more fearful given how these things are happening. And I had the, I think, occasion to say before that it's not good enough for us to believe that it's localized with gangs, and that those of us who are just living an ordinary life will not be affected. The evidence now is clear that we can be.
Christie said it's clear the country needs to move to a new dimension when it comes to crime-fighting strategies. He said there are a number of matters he's discussing, and just last night he had a meeting with State Minister of National Security Keith Bell, where Bell submitted a significant anti-crime strategy that Christie intends to discuss with the country's security forces. He affirmed crime is a top priority.
This is a matter that must be, will receive from me personally a major commitment on a sustained basis because it is necessary. And I think going forward it is now for me to meet with the leaders of the armed forces of the country, security forces of the country, to discuss the strategies that I'm talking about, because I must also know that it is for them to execute and not for me.
The Prime Minister said even though the country's armed forces have done a lot, we have much more to do. He said sometimes it's not easy to do the things he would like, suggesting some things may impact freedom of movement.
Sometimes what you do will have to impact on our own freedom to move about. And so it is as strong as that, that we are going to have to be much more aggressive in this matter, and I want to be very careful with not putting myself in the position of the Commissioner of Police or the Commodore of the Defense Force in terms of how these things will be executed.
Christie added he accepts government is ultimately responsible to employ the necessary crime-fighting strategies going forward. Reporting for NB12, I'm Dana Smith.
Well, Anglican Bishop Lache Boyd is renewing his call for the government to get serious about crime, asserting that the high murder rate and other crimes are getting too out of control. He suggested this is the worst he's seen it in the country. Simone Davis reports.
Bishop Boyd said although crime is a major problem that neither the police force nor the government can solve on its own, it's time for the Bahamian people, along with the government, to get serious about tackling the issue in the most effective way. He said the level of criminal activity and violence in the Bahamas has been too high for far too long, and it is only getting worse, especially in the areas of murder and domestic violence. He added that there is no silver.
All of us recognize that crime is an issue which continues to cause great concern for Bahamians. Crime is something which no government alone, no police force alone can tackle. It takes all of us to tackle crime. The reality is that crime is something which is before us, which we need to deal with.
Boyd said he believes the way forward is for everyone with authority and the ability to deal with the issue of crime, talk around the table and come up with some sort of resolution immediately.
And I think that the way forward, and I'm not the first person to suggest this, but the way forward is for all the stakeholders to come together around the table. That includes the government and many, many other entities. But it must include the government because the government has the resources, the network, the contacts, the know-how, the know-who to get things done.
According to the Nassau Guardian's records, the murder count for the year currently stands at 130, surpassing the country's record of 127 back in 2011. Many MPs and members of parliament shared their thoughts on the issue of crime, including Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rawlins, who recently called on the government to deliver crime solutions. Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe also recently called the high murder count a disgrace. Boyd said crime in the Bahamas should not be downplayed, and it's time to face the facts. According to the Nassau Guardian's records, the murder count for the year currently stands at 130, surpassing the...
But all of the stakeholders need to come around the table, settle down, and seek to work out this issue of crime. I firmly believe that we can devise a strategy to ameliorate and rehabilitate our country's predicament.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
In other news, Prime Minister Christie said he recently met with Bahamas receivers and provisional liquidators to discuss the way forward for the development and if any international investors intend to purchase the embattled resort, noting the property's managers are in talks with investors like Saul Kersner and major Chinese operators. Christie said he wrote a very comprehensive letter to China Exim Bank on the matter and actually received a reply this morning.
They were to put out a statement to the effect that they are talking with many persons, including Saul Kersner's group. They are talking to people who can bring great excitement to this destination. I'm very impressed with the names of the corporations, the names of the individuals who are talking with them. And they include also huge Chinese operators.
Christie said Bahamar has excited a lot of the big players in the world in terms of resort and casino businesses, and it's time for a decision to be made.
It's very clear that there has been an unusual amount of interest on the part of operators of resorts and casinos to become involved in this site here. And so we continue to wait and to watch, but we do know that a decision must be made imminently for this to go on, and we expect it to be made imminently.
Our news team asked Christie if he expects that decision will be made before the end of the year.
Listen, I'm pushing for this thing to start as quickly as possible. I told them even if you bring 20 people out here and start it, Let's start the mobilization towards making sure it's being done, because the confidence, you see, rating agencies, now let me make this point. Standard & Poor's downgraded the Bahamas primarily because of this. Moody's held the line. Now, Moody's, obviously in holding the line, had the same feeling of optimism that I had, that yes, it's only a matter of time before construction resumes to completing the resort.
And Grammy Award-winning Bahamian band Bahamen is making international headlines once again. The group put on a rocking performance on The Today Show in New York City Thursday, debuting Who Let the Dogs Out 2.0.
The dogs out! Everybody! Proceedings on people and the vocals. You really go this get done. Let's go! You must be, you must be, you must be invincible. What's up, everybody? The papers are fighting my nose and my grave.
The group is celebrating the release of its new album, Ride With Me, and marking 15 years since the release of the song that put Bahamen on the map.
Who let the dogs out? 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 Oh yeah! Doggy is not in the
The band recently performed during halftime at the New York Giants-Dallas Cowboys football game. As they celebrate 15 years of success, the new album, which features songs including Night and Day and One Love, One Rhythm, is available now at the local and international digital stores. You're watching the best of Bahamian news. There is more when NB12 returns.
Join Commonwealth Bank and celebrate the 12 weeks of Christmas.
Isn't that supposed to be days?
Nope. It's Commonwealth Bank's 12 weeks of Christmas. Get approved for any Commonwealth Bank consumer loan or credit card, and you will have a chance to win cash prizes from $100 the first week to $1,200 the last week, plus special gift prizes from Colombian Emeralds, competitive interest rates, and low monthly payments.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas from Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Pennzoil is taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics.
Now available at all Shell service stations nationwide.
Hey, that bucket has superpowers. Powers? It makes people suddenly appear. Really? I'm home. You're here. It makes people suddenly appear. At the right time.
The Festive Feast from KFC Nassau. The taste that brings everyone together. So good.
At Fidelity Bank, we know that the first steps are always the hardest. With our debt saver loans and ASU savings.
Mommy, what's an ASU?
Oh, ASU is the way you save money.
Why do people save money?
To get things that they want, like vacation, a new house, or mommy needs a new car.
Do you save money?
Mommy would like to, but.
But what?
With our debt saver loans and ASU savings program and our friendly and helpful staff here to guide you, you can do so much more than you ever imagined. Fidelity, we're good for you.
Find your place in Serenity.
Finally, the promotion I've worked so hard for. Now I can qualify for a home that I've wanted for years, one suited for me. I met with my bank, and before I knew it, my dream started to become a reality. And even better, she said yes! So now I can make my house a home. Thanks, Serenity, for making my life complete.
Serenity, luxurious living, island style. Call us at 362-6032.
Welcome back. Police on Grand Bahama are investigating an accident there last night which left 3 people dead. We're told the collision between 2 cars took place at the junction of Explorers Way and Coral Road around 9:15. We understand the victims are an adult male and 2 adult females. Their identities are being withheld pending notification of the next of kin. That now brings the number of people killed on the streets of that island this year to 14. In other news, TireFlex Star Motors has teamed up with St. Agnes Anglican Church to hold a raffle in an effort to raise funds to assist the church with building repairs. TireFlex donated a Mercedes-Benz to support the church raffle. Retired Archbishop Drexel Gomez said funds raised in the raffle would go toward the reconstruction of the roof of the church, which is causing a lot of issues. He said they need about $100,000 for the repairs and the partnership with TireFlex has earned them a little more than half of that.
We came to deliver the keys to a car that was used for a raffle sponsored by St. Agnes Church. The purpose of the raffle was to collect funds to engage in the reconstruction of the roof of the church that is proving problematic, especially over the sanctuary area of the church. And so we've had the raffle to assist us in raising the funds. So we need approximately $100,000 to do the work that is necessary on the fabric. And the result of this raffle will take us just a little over halfway.
Paul Gomez, the winner of the raffle and the Mercedes-Benz, said the win was unexpected and he hopes to give back in any way that he can.
It was unexpected, unreal, still surreal. I thought the drawing was a few weeks before. I thought, as usual, I didn't win anything, so it's really a surprise. I think it could be used to do some further good in terms of making some donations, and we'll see how it goes.
Sales manager at TireFlex, Rose Richardson, said they plan to partner with more organizations to find ways to give back to the community.
We are really delighted to be a part of the St. Agnes raffle. We partnered with them and it was a beautiful journey, and we congratulate the winner, Mr. Andy Gomez, and indeed we're happy that someone like him has won it, because he in turn will take those funds and return back to the church and other charitable organizations. We have done in the past and we will also continue in the future. So we look to partnering with anyone to really send Mercedes-Benz out there, and for persons who maybe they would not come in to purchase a Mercedes-Benz, but they have a chance to actually win one.